We're about to load 3 mares in the trailer, head to Tennessee Equine, where Rude and Riddle is gonna meet us and do a day of ICSI. So they are going to aspirate 3 of my mares, starting with Trudy. Aspirating, meaning they are going to harvest oocytes. So within all of the follicles that you see that we watch to make sure they mature and we try to see if they ovulate, that is where the oocyte lives, which is essentially the egg. So the follicle is the fluid-filled sac that the oocyte is within. So they go get the oocytes, and then outside of the mare, they use a single sperm per oocyte, and the whole process is called ICSI, but essentially they try to make embryos outside of the mare, and then we're able to freeze them and use at a later date. So let's load Trudy up. And then next up is Miss Blondie. Blondie, I'll talk about her a little bit later, but let's load her up first. Get on up there, big girl. Look at that booty. She's so gorgeous. And then last but not least, excuse me, Molly, you're getting a massage. Gotta go get Ricky. Last but not least is Ricky, aka Gone Commando. Luckily for us, it's only a 30-minute trailer ride, so it's super easy. I'm gonna drop these girls off for the day, and I'll tell y'all who they're getting bred to when we get there. Okay, so they're here. Brought all 3 mares. They're in stalls awaiting their turn. The Trudy usually gives a gajillion oocytes, and because of that, we always have 2 stallions on standby because we'll usually split it. Generally, if she gives like 20 oocytes, we're gonna get, you know, anywhere from 1 to 6 embryos. And there's always a chance of 0 embryos, even from a slew of oocytes. But the 2 stallions that we chose for her are enticed. Very excited about that cross. And my young stallion First Things First, because we used a couple of his embryos that we had in the bank, and we want some more for next year. But if she only has enough oocytes for 1 stallion, we are doing enticed. And for Miss Blondie, we are going to do both of my stallions, VS Code Red and First Things First, but if she only has enough oocytes for 1 stud, then we will choose First Things First, because that was the cross that I had hoped for her to carry this year. She just didn't get pregnant, but we have a lot of hope for next year. And since she's open, why not do a couple rounds of ICSI? And then for Ricky, aka Gone Commando, we are gonna do the same thing. VS Code Red and First Things First. She has 1 baby from each of them coming in 2027. And so in the case that we love them dearly, because I think we will, we're gonna go ahead and have some embryos just frozen on hand. Same thing for her though. If we only have enough oocytes for 1 stud, it will be Denver, First Things First. Everybody is nice and cozy here at the vet clinic. Again, it's so nice that it's only 30 minutes away for us. And let's cross our fingers for lots of oocytes. Do y'all recognize who this is? I mean, I know I have a lot of horses. I know they go and they come, and it's a lot. I know, but just take a gander. Look at this handsome stud muffin and just take a guess as to who it is. Did you guess? This is Running Springs Jack on the Rocks, aka Jack. Does this ring a bell? Yeah, this baby from last year, he's not even a year old yet. Jack was born last July, and this is what he looks like now at 11 months old. Jack's mama is my mini mare Janice. His sire is ERL Cuddy Rocks the House, which makes him a half sibling to Glenn and Gidget. So this past weekend was Jack's first horse show. He showed in the halter. He's registered AMHR, so it's the height registry where they can be a little bit taller. I'm really hoping that he stays on the smaller side. If he makes it, I think, to 3 years old, and he is under 34 inches or 34 and under, I think he can be hard shipped into AMHA. But as of right now, he is only registered AMHR. So he showed in the halter. I'm gonna give you the little video. I'm gonna show you Emily Condor showing him. He was 3rd across the board out of some very nice horses. And so we have lots of hope for him. You know, it was his first show, so he was a little bit looky, you know, a little bit distracted, but not bad. He handled it like a champ. So here's the video. Halter is a conformation class, meaning it is based on how the horse is built. So it's not necessarily a performance class, but it's based on their gait. It's based on how they are put together, how they are fit. Peep Chandler Marks right there with his little baby. So he was up against some very, very nice horses. And even at 11 months old, look at him. So much to look forward to. I think it's going to be so exciting to watch Jack mature, grow up. Again, he's 11 months old and we're towards like the half of the year. And so it's just like AQHA, where some of the horses that he was up against are older than him. So they're a little more mature than he is. So that puts him at a little bit of a disadvantage, but he still looks fantastic. Again, thank you so much to Emily Conder for expertly prepping him, training him, and showing him. And if all goes well, it's not a 100% thing yet. I would love to see him at the AMHR Nationals this year showing, and we'll see what happens. And if it doesn't happen this year, then for sure next year. Let me know if you have any questions. So you know how Weezy decided, hey, I'm gonna get hurt so I don't have to go to the horse show. That means we have an open stall at the show. So Mr. Walter is gonna have his first outing. Now, Walter, because he is a 2-year-old stallion prospect and he's a goofy boy, we are probably not going to necessarily be riding him at this horse show. This is just a sights and sounds experience for him. He has to listen to all these women hollering at him how gorgeous he is, and he has to just handle it like a grown man. Oh yeah, and the smells. There's going to be a lot of smells, buddy. All right, buddy. Now, I was actually thinking, I was like, I don't know that he's really been on a trailer, so we're gonna just see what happens. He's gonna hop on the trailer first, and then Kennedy, there's gonna be like a little slot between them, and then she has her own slot so that there's no way for them to touch each other. That's your big brother, Woody. Look how handsome your son is, Indy. Molly's getting a massage. You got a break for this show, girlfriend. We're taking Walter. Okie dokie. Let's see, I think he's gonna be a really smart, good boy and just hop right up in there. One foot before the other. What a good boy. Good job, Bubba. Okay, so there's a whole slant in between, and then Miss Kennedy comes next. Hi, pretty girl. And then she's a pro. We already know that. So now we have our resident climber opening up all the windows. Some of you have asked why we're not taking Ethel, why we're not taking Molly. Like the last horse show, we took a whole bunch of horses, and it's really just because we're trying to focus on the NSBA world, which I'll only be taking Kennedy to, so she's the only horse that I'm showing, and we wanted one ride-along horse, and Walter hasn't had a turn yet, and it just felt right. He's been such a good boy. He's been handling everything with such a sound mind, and I think it'll be great for him because it's only 30 minutes away. Like I said, probably not going to get ridden, but he might get lunged, walked around, being in the stall around all those horses, hearing all those things. It's going to be great for him. You be nice to him. He's a baby, and he's probably going to be a future baby daddy of yours. So stay tuned for more updates. Oh yeah, and Beyonce's alive. I guess I have to show her all the time now.